You bought Facebook stock on the back of this drop. How much did you buy and why?
I bought a couple $100,000 worth of shares. I bought some more this morning because I'm a long-term believer in the stock, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of moments over the next 3 to 4 years outside of macroeconomics that I'm going to be able to take advantage of it. I don't tend to buy a lot of publicly traded stocks. My original Facebook came pre-IPO, but when it got hit, when all the Cambridge Analytica stuff happened and Mark was on trial, I bought a ton. And then obviously off this missing numbers or news recently, I've been buying up a little bit more, mainly because I think in the next 4, 7, 9, 13, 26 years, it's a good buy.
So it's interesting that is a big bet. Roger McNamee, early Facebook investor, who I'm sure you know has been out there very publicly critical of Facebook, he compared Facebook to Philip Morris to me in terms of Facebook's negative impact on the world. What about concerns about fake news? What about online hate? What about concerns about our privacy?
I think there is a stunning non-conversation about taking on some sense of responsibility, meaning sure, but choosing CNN or Fox or MSNBC has as many dynamics as what you're seeing in your feed, and then more importantly, what you're choosing to consume as real. I mean, to me, the thought that Facebook is any different than Twitter or Instagram, which obviously they own, or websites or a million different ways we consume is kind of laughable and silly. I mean, Visa and Target and the American government itself has had breaches of information far more dramatic. And so, I understand the concept, but I think making a jump from Philip Morris, which systematically spent lobbying dollars and tried to pay off politicians for 4 to 5 decades to suppress information, is an awfully big jump by that person.
Okay, but what about profitability versus privacy? Will one always trump the other? And can we actually trust Facebook?
I mean, I have no problem trusting Facebook any more than I trust any other company on earth. Profitability and privacy is kind of funny to me. We choose to do convenience over profitability every day of the week and privacy. I mean, the way we pick privacy on a pedestal is almost non-existent in our actions. Every person watching this right now gives up privacy every day for convenience and speed. And so whether it's going to be Amazon or Google or Apple or Facebook or any of these companies that sit as a layer on top of the internet, we have shown through our actions over the last 30 years and continue to with the usage of Instagram and others. I love all the people protesting Facebook on Instagram. We prove as humans all the time how we think about privacy, which is we love to talk about it, but we don't fear it as much because the underlying issue is the amount of bad things that happen to the health and well-being of our family or having our money stolen is extremely far and few between.
What about the forces that may be bigger than us? The fact that Russia tried to hack our elections using Facebook and that there's evidence that they're doing it again to sow discord. Has Facebook done enough to prevent itself from being weaponized?
Facebook, I mean, look, Facebook, this network, Fox, CNN, Twitter, it's all the same game where I think about it from a macro, which is we make decisions. Facebook or the Russians didn't make us pull for Trump or Hillary. And so I think that the information that people are buying ads and running them in our streams is very interesting, because if you look at the execution of people that run political ads, the cost of penetrating somebody with a different opinion versus one that already reinforces your stance is where this starts getting far more interesting. I think this is one of the great examples in human time of us not interested in accountability. Facebook didn't make you a racist. You made yourself a racist.
So let's talk about Twitter.
Sure.
Because you use Twitter a lot. We saw the same huge dip on the back of Twitter earnings, and it's very clear that Twitter is just not in a high growth state. They've hit a plateau.
Yep.
In fact, they actually lost users over the last quarter.
Yep.
The influence is there. The President of the United States is using it as his megaphone, but it's not the next Facebook.
Yeah, no, but it was never the next Facebook. And the truth is, Facebook is all-encompassing, right? With Instagram, and who knows what Mark and Cheryl and the team is up to on their next M&A or innovation. You got WhatsApp. Yes, it is not the next Facebook. I assume it's not priced on Wall Street in the same manner. I will say this, if you look very closely to Moon Pie, which is a small snack brand, if you look at what Wendy's is doing, I will say that the business world is starting to understand how to use Facebook to drive business. We're working with Kraft Heinz on Miracle Whip. It stuns me how much Twitter is the backbone of driving sales at Albertsons and Walmart. So I will say that maybe the width of attention on Twitter is not growing to a stock market's want and needs, but the depth of attention in the platform and the ways to maneuver in it and its ad product. I've been, over the last 3 to 4 years, quite critical and not excited about Twitter publicly, but I, no question, have seen over the last 6 to 12 months a resurgence different than, let's say, the Trump effect of just how much attention is in the platform. And when you have attention, I think you have the ultimate currency. You know, to me, it'll be interesting to see what they do with their OTT. I think they should play in that space. I think they were flirting with that a year or two ago. Again, you know, I don't know how earnings are done or how much the street values things, but I will say depth, maybe not width, is emerging on Twitter.
The top 5 companies by market cap are Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. In 2007, just before the financial crisis, one of them was a tech company, and that was Microsoft. Is the market putting too many eggs in the tech basket?
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, and I want to be very fair for the audience, I think about things in such long term. Like, the thought of me understanding the short-term economics of 90-day terms and numbers that most of the viewers here play on, and the arbitrary nature and just the fact that we're playing financial engineering, not actually building businesses. In the macro, of course not. We're not going backwards. Tech companies will continue to gain momentum. Let me pull it out right here. This is where we actually live, not here. And so in the super long term, no. In the short term, I have no sense if the market has overpriced these companies based on what the numbers that they can hit over the next 90 days. But, like, people aren't going to be watching ABC and NBC over Netflix, right? People are not going to be consuming newspapers over Facebook. Like, that is only going to we're just starting in that world. Short-term economics and the way the street likes to play, that's up to all of you guys. But the danger in a 5, 10, 15-year macro, I don't see it, because, you know, the reality is we're only heading in one direction, which is technology doesn't care about our feelings or our short-term judgment or Wall Street. It just continues to advance, and humans are engaging deeper and deeper and deeper, and will continue to in perpetuity.